To prophesy is an honor. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashum Yahweh Shai. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 19, verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. And to go out on the highways and hedges to teach, to go out there to do the will of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai is an honor. And a matter of fact, let me get this. Let's see. This is the book of Ephesians. No. Chapter 6, verse 12. Okay, it says, For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. That's what it means to go out there on the highways and hedges. When we go out there on the highways and hedges, we're not going out there to get violent. We're not going out there to stir up strife. Like how these FBI and these different governmental operatives try to classify us as. Now, in a previous video I did, based on the FBI, they're basically trying to make us out to be a violent group when we're not. We're not a violent group. We're not a violent group. But they're trying to classify us as that. Of course they understand. They know that when we go out there on the highways and hedges, we go out there to prophesy, to bring in the Lord's elect, whosoever they may be out there. We're out to fish for the Lord's elect. And yet, the U.S. government is hiring these agent provocateurs. They're hiring crisis actors. And they're sending these people out there to do violent acts. Why? So they can classify us as violent people. When we are not violent, we are nowhere near close to violent. But that's what they classify us as. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay, that's what we wrestle against. So to go out there and to prophesy is an honor to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. We don't wrestle against blood. What does that mean? We do not get physical. And a matter of fact, I got a precept. We are not a physical people. That's what this government is making us out to be. And we're not a violent group. We're not. But of course, the so-called white man is a liar. He is a devil. He is going to categorize us as being violent because he is the devil. Romans chapter 8 verse 25. But if Salakia, hold on. Let me see. It says, here we go. Romans chapter 8 verse 5. For they that are after the flesh, what does it mean to be after the flesh? It means to do the things of the flesh. It means you mind physicality. You mind the things that are physical. However, we do not mind the things that are physical. We mind the things that are spiritual. Now, what did Yahushua say? As a matter of fact, allow me to get another precept. Let me open this up. Right? What did Yahushua say? This is the book of John, chapter 6, verse 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. What? Yahushua said this? It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. So why the hell will we go out there and get physical for? We're not a violent group like the government is making us out to be. Yahushua said, be ye wise as serpents. And I'm talking about Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. He said, be ye wise as serpents and harmless as doves. We do everything that Yahushua said to do. So we're not this violent group that the government is making us out to be. The words that I speak unto you, the words that Yahushua, who the world ignorantly called Jesus, speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So what the hell is the U.S. government talking about? What is the FBI talking about? They're demonizing us because really, they want to get violent with us. They want to throw us into prison. They want to throw us into concentration camps. And ultimately, they want to kill us. The U.S. government, they are the true violent ones. They are the ones stirring up chaos and civil war all around the world. They're the ones spraying the chemtrails in the air. They're spraying estrogen. They're spraying mercury. They're spraying aluminum. They're spraying barium. They're spraying arsenic. They're spraying all kinds of chemicals up in the air that can kill you. But we're the violent group. The U.S. government are responsible for the uproars and the violence in Iran, in Syria, in Iraq, and Afghanistan. The so-called white man is responsible for the uproars and civil wars in Spain, in Greece, in Europe, in Africa. They're responsible for microcosmic shrimp in the water, for lead in the water, for chlorine in the water, for fluoride in the water. That makes people docile, give people autism, cancer, diabetes. Just drinking your own tap water can kill you. But word of violent group? What the hell is this man talking about? For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, and we see a physical example of that. The so-called white man. He's carnal minded. That's why he sprays chemtrails in the air. That's why he puts microcosmic shrimp in our water, fluoride in our water, chlorine in our water, bleach in our water, lead in our water. That's why the whole earth is filled with cement, asphalt. That's why he prefers vehicles that run on gas that powers vehicles, which pollutes the air, versus vehicles that run on water. This is why there is still wars going on. Ever since World War I, there has always been wars going on. And wars will not stop. Wars will not stop until this goddamn man is taken out of power. And we're not going to be the ones to do it. Not now. When Yahushua makes his grand return, when he makes his beautiful grand return, when he cracks them skies, when he penetrates the skies and comes back in with the world calls UFOs, that's when the so-called white man is going to be taken out of power. And even then, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the enemy, talking about the 2/3 of our people, talking about the so-called white man, talking about the heathen nations, when they come in like a flood against the Lord's elect, whosoever they may be out there, the Lord, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, is going to give them spiritual power. Spiritual power to defend themselves. But to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Why? Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, for it is not subject to the law of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And that's the so-called white man. He don't even keep the land Sabbath. But he wondered why he has to spray pesticides on crops to keep the pest away. Well, if you keep the land Sabbath, you wouldn't have to worry about that. This man has to create GMO foods. Why? Why does he have to create GMO foods? Because he don't keep the land Sabbath. He's killing too many animals. He's killing animals just for sport and fun. He's with adultery. He's with homosexuality. He's with pedophilia. He's with incest. He's with everything that is against the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The only right that you heathens and the 2/3 of our people have really is to be put to death. But according to the U.S. Constitution, do as thou wilt. Do what feels right. That goes completely against the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. So check this out. The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine. What is that wine? Do as thou wilt. You only live once. Go ahead. Let another man stick his rod up your butt. You're a woman. Be a slut. Even I have to say, what? That do not make sense. But give this man a chance, and he will hop over the fence to commit another offense. That's why this man got to be taken out of power. Because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man. Oh, he is a proud man. Let me get that. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 3. The pride of thine heart, proud. You so-called white people, and starting with the so-called elites, the head of the Illuminati and the U.S. government, you're proud. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Right. Because originally, you so-called white people used to live up in the mountains, committing incest, popping your mother, your father, your sisters, your brothers, your little children, whose habitation is high, that save in his heart, that save in his mind, who shall bring me down to the ground? Well, guess what, O Edom? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. So the Most High been bringing you down. The so-called white man been bringing you down. Salakia, slip of the tongue, not the heart. The Heavenly Father and His Son, they are so-called black men. They are dark-skinned men with woolly hair, and they are not friendly people to the heathens and to the 2/3 of our people. Okay, the Heavenly Father is an austere man, and so is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. He is an austere man. Okay, but getting back on the point, though thou set thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, save the Lord. So Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai been bringing you crackers down, okay? That's why your kingdom is crumbling. We can physically see it. All we got to do is look at the sidewalks, look at the streets. There's cracks. You know, everything is spiritual. Just look at the sidewalks and look at the streets. Look at the buildings. Jobs are closing down left and right because Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is bringing you people down. While you people were busy celebrating New Year's, the so-called white man has been coming up with new draconian laws to further oppress our people. And this hell is not going to stop until this man is taken out of power. So back on Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5, yea, also because he transgressed about wine, that wine is that doest thou wilt, Aleister Crowley doctrine, democracy. He is a proud man. Your pride has deceived you. O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death. Yeah, just look at what the American government does. They go to other countries, they kill civilians, they blow up hospitals in the name of peace. They're telling you people, oh, we're just doing it in the name of peace. But we're the bad guys. We're not the ones blowing up hospitals or killing civilians or you know people who have families over there in the Middle East. The US government is doing that. They even create groups like ISIS. They create groups like ISIS, the jihadists, and they're going to create future terrorist groups if it be the Lord's will. But they create terrorist groups that carry out these different terrorist acts around the world. The US government is responsible for the destruction of the Twin Towers here in New York. They did that. They had the FBI, the CIA set up bombs and other things in these different buildings, which destruct these buildings, broke these buildings down. And Slovakia, as you can see, too much truth is coming out. Satan is at work here. Okay, my Firefox is currently acting up, but I'm gonna just finish up here and close it out. It says, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. Yeah, heapeth unto him all people. The water Yahweh, the water Yahweh Shai. My Firefox, well, it was working properly. Now it's acting up again. But yeah, heapeth unto him all people, meaning what? This man's New World Order. Okay? Heapeth unto him all people. This man wants to gather all nations under him. He wants to be everybody's God. Put RFID chips in everybody. If you're an Israelite, you're not supposed to take the RFID chip because that is the mark of the beast. Okay? But the scriptures say he heapeth unto him all people. But with that, I'm going to say Shalom is on to the next one. What the fuck? Really? What's going on here? I rebuke you, Satan. What the fuck is going on here?